Welcome in, everyone. My name is Ahlara Kent, and I'm so glad that you are here in our free attunement using the Metatron cubes. It is our monthly offering and gift from the Interstellar Earth Alliance to help deeply support you energetically during these times of great change and transition. And today we are going into and receiving one of my favorite attunements, and it is the Cube of Grace. Many of you are here with us live. Many of you are going to be watching this recording. So welcome in. I'm just going to give a brief overview of the Metatron cubes. I know many of you hear this talk every month, but for those who are new, I just want to give a little bit of a background of what the Metatron cubes are and how we use them to help support our spiritual awakening and help to activate and awakening our own divinity within ourselves. So the Metatron cubes is a sacred geometry pattern and deeply connected with Archangel Metatron. It was the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. I was very spiritually compromised, still dealing with a lot of human trauma and spiritual trauma. And at that time, my husband and I had just met. We only knew each other for a few months. And after we met, we had both started channeling. And Archangel Metatron and Shekinah started to come through very deeply for both of us. And Archangel Metatron came through my husband and said, I'm going to install a gold cube into your fields. And after this happened, it really changed my life. And by gold cube, I mean it was a gold multi-dimensional Metatron cube that was installed into my personal energy field. And again, that was 10 years ago. And so from that time, so many cubes were built off of that. We have the chakra cubes and the Christ cubes and so many that are for personal installations. And after working with the personal installations for about 7 years, these attunements were birthed. And Spirit guided me and showed me that these cubes can be brought down, not installed, but brought down for groups, and that the cubes can be infused and hold different frequencies of energy. If you can think of them as blueprints or activations. And so my role is as a facilitator and as an architect is I work with Spirit. They make the cubes and then I bring them down. And during these sessions, each of you are connected with these cubes. And what the cube does is whatever the frequency is of the cube, activates and turns that frequency on within your body because everything already exists within us. Each month we have a different frequency, a different energy of the cube to provide what the collective needs at this time for activation and remembrance. And so these cubes are activating the divinity and the light codes that already exist within us. So they help to turn that on. So these attunements are really about awakening your own inner divinity, about you creating your own connection and your deeper connection with Source. So they are a wonderful tool for empowerment and to also support you on your journey. And so today there is no installations. Those are private one-on-one sessions, or I'm going to start doing those in very small group sessions. So these are attunements. So the cube gets brought down for this session and then it goes back up to the ethers. However, these sessions are recorded and you can watch them at any time and do them over and over and over because you will continue to get the attunement each time you do it. So that's the gift that keeps on giving. So yes, and for those of you who have been working with this technology with me for the last year or two or even longer, you have your own personal experience of knowing how this works and how it's helping to support you in your life. So I'm very, very grateful for the spiritual technology and these tools. So during these attunements, all you have to do is just receive. When I guide, there's a lot of guided visualization and meditation. And not everyone has a brain that's wired where they easily visualize. And that's okay. So however the experience comes to you, sometimes I might be guiding you through something and you're completely gone somewhere else. And that's perfectly fine. So whatever experience you have is going to be unique to you, and Spirit's going to work on you individually, and you're going to have your own experience connecting with the technology and with the source. So again, my name is Ahlara. I'm joining in today. I am on the West Coast in Ashland, Oregon. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes north of Mount Shasta. I also want to go into the Interstellar Earth Alliance real quick before we move into the attunement. Because the Interstellar Earth Alliance is a satellite space station that is anchored on Earth. And this morning, Spirit, I just want to celebrate this. I want to celebrate this. They told me that this station is fully anchored, and I'm so excited. And so in 2015, I went to Crestone, Colorado, and there I received blueprints from the Galactic Federation to build a satellite space station on Earth. And it took about 10 years of energetically preparing me for the blueprints to even awaken in my field, which they did a little over a year ago. It was January of last year. And so this last year has been building the energetic foundation using the Metatron cube. So the Metatron cubes has been the energy and the spiritual technology that has anchored this station into the earth. And it is anchored in Ashland, Oregon, all the way down to Mount Shasta. The first steps of it anchoring energetically is fully done, and they told me that this morning. So I'm just like really celebrating that. This is amazing. So celebrating this very big milestone today. More to come. Really important to start the year with this cube of grace. And for each of you who have been through all of these attunements, there is something really special about this cube of grace. It's very profound, and it's very, I will say all the cubes are very special. This one just holds a special place in my heart because it feels so nourishing on a very deep cellular level. So I'm just very honored to connect each of you to this beautiful energy today. The guides who will be helping today, I deeply feel the Magdalene energy. Shekinah will be the main guide. Sophia, Isis, Hathor. Is it Bridget? Yeah, I know she's one of the Celtic goddesses. Just deeply the Divine Mother energy, deeply, that beautiful feminine energy. Before this attunement today, we are practicing being in our receptive mode of receiving. The invitation is to begin to breathe into the lower belly. You may lie down or sit for this attunement, whatever feels most comfortable, and open the best way where you can receive. Beginning to see a golden light warming in the belly, in the lower belly. allowing the lower belly and the belly button to rise and fall with the innocence of a child or a baby sleeping. Their natural breath cycle is for the belly to rise and fall. And I'm feeling this sense of, when we say innocence, and so that reliance that we have being an infant as a child, it can bring up senses of not being safe. Having that innocence might have felt corrupted or hurt or traumatized. And so as we begin to breathe and allow that part of you, that innocence, to surface, know that it might surface with pain around it, or fear around it, or trauma around it. And knowing that it's held in this space of grace, that in this space you can breathe and begin to tune in to that place within you, that very deep innocence, that place of experience that we had coming into this earth and being completely reliant on our caregivers around us. And so as we speak these words, knowing that it is activating and bringing those pieces forward for it to receive and be held in the grace today. And this invitation to bring forward the parts of yourself that have been shamed, that have been put down and bullied or abused, or that have not been accepted by your family, friends, and society. So today we invite you to bring forward the pieces of yourself that are ready to be held within this grace and in this light. If it's helpful for you, you can visualize sitting outside in the spot that feels like the most magical and safe for you. It can be on this earth or another planet, however it feels for you. And as you are in this space, visualize sitting down. Maybe you're under the moonlight or under the sun, and feel the ground beneath you. And these parts of yourself begin to play around you as little children, or parts of yourself. And they're also sharing with me that these could also be pieces of ourselves from a past life, as well as this one. And allowing them to just kind of play around the space around you, and allowing them to show up in a way that feels authentic to those parts of yourself. Some of them might show up in ways that look uncomfortable or scary to you, but just witness with love and centeredness. And some of them might show up with pure joy. So just honoring whatever is showing up for you, knowing that we are holding you and providing grace and unconditional love to your whole self. Continuing to breathe down into the lower belly, softening the muscles of the body. Shekinah is forward and is going to begin to bring down the cube of grace. This cube will come down and surround your full self. See it as this beautiful light in the sky. You might see those parts of yourself looking up in wonder at this beautiful spark that begins to awaken and sparkle above you. You begin to see beautiful angels. They're radiating love, showing up around you and for each of the parts of yourself. And they hold your hand and they point up to the sky. They say, look at that beautiful light. Look at that beautiful sparkling light. And the light begins to get bigger. And they begin to see this incredible form of light. It is the Metatron cube. And it is the most safe, beautiful, radiating light. And you remember this safety and this grace and this peace. And just beginning to look at this light from this Metatron cube begins to melt away the fear, melt away the old contracts, the old self-sabotage, the addictions, the hurts. Instantly begins to melt away. The angels have you bring your hands together, and they place their hands around yours. They guide you to look up and to see as this cube of grace is descending. They gently begin to invite you to stand up, and they raise with you as you stand up. They're holding your hands, cupped in theirs, and they gently make their way around. So they're standing behind you, and each of their hands and their wings is around you and holding you. And each of their hands are over your hands. And they invite you to open your palms. And their hands are behind yours, and your palms are facing up. And the cube is above you now. And you begin to receive this grace and this love through your hands. And it begins to enter your body. And they have your back, fully holding and supporting you as this light comes in, melting away all that is ready to be released and healed. And the cube is now down enough where your hands are actually beginning to touch the cube, the Metatron cube. It is this 3-dimensional but also multi-dimensional shape. And as the cube gently begins to make its way down, it's fully connected now to the earth in front of you. and your hands are connecting with it. And your angel guide is still standing behind you. And they said, when you're ready, it's time to walk in to the cube of grace. And all of your littles, all of the parts of you, they each have an angel, and all of them walk into the cube of grace. And as we are in the cube of grace, we gently bring our hands down, and the angels stand as this beautiful guard of holding the container for us within this cube. And they stand lovingly and holding space as we begin to explore inside this cube. However it looks for each of you is going to be unique. And I see in the cube the wings and the goddess Isis. And she is reminding us. And she is guiding me to share a story that as you're in this beautiful cube of grace, the story I share with you was that in 2022, I had the most incredible opportunity to go to the Osirian in Egypt. And this was the temple where Isis called back all the pieces of Osiris and put him back together. In this sacred temple, we were to call out a healing. And in this temple, I called out that all fracturing would be healed. And it is this calling back the pieces of ourselves that have been fractured or hurt or wounded. And she stands here today answering that call to bring our full selves back, bring our pieces back together. And so she is here to fulfill that gift, that promise, that answered prayer as we are here in this cube of grace, fully surrounded by unconditional love. And in this place of grace, all can be healed. All gets back and brought back into wholeness. And there's absolutely nothing you have to do other than just receive. And by this, I mean any part of you that might not feel worthy melts. That you show up exactly as you are. And knowing that this gift of being brought back to wholeness with grace is always there for all beings. So as we are wrapped in wings of love, we sit in front of a beautiful Mother Isis, like the innocence of children. And she sees into us everything. Nothing can be hidden from her. All parts of us are seen. Parts that we may have forgotten were even there. And everything is melted away. That is not who we truly are. Anything that was causing fracturing or damage or anything that was keeping us away from our full self begins to melt away with her gaze. the cube fully turns on and activates, and the angels around us have their hands out, and they begin to send each of us unconditional love and grace, everything we need to bring ourselves back into wholeness. You're guided to visualize yourself to now lie down. You can physically lie down, or you can just visualize it. And under this cube, you're being guided to lie down, all parts of you to lie down, and to gaze up at the top of the cube of grace. And light begins to descend, little, almost like if it were like snowing light. I'm even showing like if you had a sparkler and the light from that, and just beginning to see that drop down all over your body. And it touches your skin with the most gentle, healing love. And it begins to permeate down through the tissues, into the cellular structures, into your organs and your bones and your bone marrow. This light from the cube begins, this grace begins to bless and activate every cell of your body. It is physically changing you at the cellular level. All the energy beginning to fill your body. Beginning to feel the grace radiating. Feel how absolutely unconditionally loved you are. The angels gently come over and place their hands on your body very safely. And they're showing me almost like light language codes, but they're angelic. It's like angelic light language symbols. And they're beginning to work on you using symbols of light, preparing the body and the energy fields for bringing the pieces of yourself back together. I see one of the angels at your head, cradling the back of your head and very, very large hands, and sending light into the mouth of God, through the temples, 2 other angels on the sides of your body, supporting your back and your front. And then 1 at your feet, holding and supporting the foundation of your body. And beginning to breathe as they fully release anything that needs to be released. Breathing through that. Taking away lifetimes of karmic patterns and old contracts. Old traumas, just released, and completely releasing that from your system, from your cells, from your bones. At the same time, the grace is filling your body. It's filling those spaces that were once filled with the old hurts are now being filled with grace. The angels begin with Isis, begin to braid from the crown all the way down your spine, I'm seeing this golden braid moving down through the spine. They're braiding these weaves of light down your spine, from the crown of your head to the very base of your body. Weaving structures of light and grace. Continuing to take nice, deep, gentle breaths, making sure that you're breathing. Maybe even a vocal sigh out on the exhale. More light is now ready to move into the physical form from the cube. So a greater amount of light is now permeating your being from the cube, being guided by the angels. The angels use their wings to create a cocoon around you, being completely held by their sacred wings of grace. Holding this womb-like space for you as this grace integrates into the cellular structures. Cellular structures. I can hear their voices, their toning, their sacred sounds. And it creates this vibration of energy in the cocoon that has been created by their wings. You feel this pulsation of their vibration and their frequency and their sound moving in with the grace, the energy of the grace. Even though you were in this cocoon, it was filled with radiant light. Radiant peace. And on top of in the cocoon, Isis brings her hands down on top of the angel wings, which is holding your cocoon. And she calls back and integrates all pieces of yourself back into this cocoon, back into this full vibration and this frequency of grace. Every piece of yourself is being brought back to you, integrated into this space, into this cocoon of grace. You receive yourself, all that you are, every piece healed, whole, brought back. Your divine blueprint fully restored. Allowing this process to take place for the next few moments, minutes, breathing through this process. Isis calling on the power of resurrection. Resurrection of our true self. Divine Mother brings us back to ourself. The process has been complete with the bringing back. The humming and the sounds from the angels a little bit quieter and softer. The vibration in the cocoon, the angelic winged cocoon, the golden light grace begins to gently have a pulse, the hum of Om. Just being in this new space, this new energy. The wings are still around you, still cocooning you. Very gently, Isis removes her hands from the wing cocoon. Very gently, the angels begin to open up their wings. And as they open up their wings, they reveal you, your new, back to your original divine blueprint, wholeness. And the entire space permeating with the grace from the cube. You are the grace, and the grace is you. Just like swimming in water. It's like swimming in that grace that is fully surrounding you now. And it is you and the angels and Isis, all pieces of you, parts of you, have been brought back and are fully integrated. So as you look around, it is you. Isis invites you to sit up and stand. And she greets you with this beautiful hug. And she reminds you that you can come to this space at any time and refill with grace. That unconditional love from Divine Mother will always provide for her children. Needs that we didn't even know we needed will be met. Connecting back to this divine birthright. Connect to this wholeness that we are, to be the wholeness that we are, to receive this grace. Be reminded of these sacred spaces within us and around us, for us to fill ourselves with us, and with grace, and with love, and how absolutely loved we are. And this feels not only like an individual divine birthright, but a gift for us to also give as we come back to this world and this time and space. To be and allow that grace to move in and through us and bless others, and to remind them what they have access to as well. For we are here for the collective service, to uplift all beings. But we must start with ourselves and then radiate that out into the universe. And it is by no accident that you are here at this time, in this space. Great change will happen this year. We are here during this great time of transition and ascension on earth. Call on us, on Divine Mother. We are here for you. We are here for all. Our time is beginning to come to a close. Before we leave this space, Isis opens up her hands and gives you the tool you need for your next steps. Continued grace and support. Know that as you move forward from today, from this attunement, activation, and remembrance, that you will be walking out into the world a different person. You may come back to this space at any time. Have your tools. As we remind Ahlara, use them. Sometimes you forget to use your tools. This is one of those tools for you. I am Isis. I am Shekinah. Thank you for journeying with us today and allowing us to bless you. This cube is staying in this space so that you may come back at any time. Loves, we say goodbye for this moment for you to go back into the space. Begin to drop and bring your consciousness and this blueprint and this fullness back into the physical form. Very, very gently beginning to feel your physical body, where you are in, like where your body is compared to the space in the room that you're in. Just begin to visualize that. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Begin to gently, very gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe it feels good to stretch your arms up, stretch your body. And then when you're ready, you can gently open up your eyes. Just take some nice deep breaths as you bring yourself back. A drink of whatever you have next to you. I'm going to gently eyes to music. I invite you to just place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And just feel the shift. feel the shift from before the attunement to now, and just feel what has changed. Reminded that and I learned this in theta healing, is we give it 72 hours. Yeah. We give the 72 hours for the full integration to happen from this. So we like to say 3 sleeps, right? So give it a good 3 sleeps for this energy to be fully integrated into the mind, the body, and the spirit, and making sure to drink lots of water. So we're gonna move into before we move into our time of reflection for those who are live on the call, I just wanted, because that part I don't use for the recording, that is private. And so I did want to just give a few updates here on just like next steps before we move into our time. So let's see. The Cube of Grace today. So in the fall of this year, we are opening our Metatron Cube Facilitator or Attunement Facilitator training. So if you would like to be able to learn how to offer these attunements, there's going to be 5 different cubes that you will be trained in, and the Cube of Grace is one of them. So if you loved this attunement and you would like to be able to share this work in the world, yay! I think we have, I'm trying to think, I think we have 10 spaces available. No, I think we have 12. We have 12 spaces available. I'm still working on the landing page, and that hopefully should be ready by the end of January, maybe the end of February. But I do have a sign-up page if you're just interested to be on the list to learn. That's going to be a fully virtual training, but we will have a live retreat in Mount Shasta and Ashland at the end. So I'm very excited about that. So if you feel called to go deeper and to learn this work, more will be there. If you would, I'll be sharing more about that in the next few months. If you would like to go deeper personally with this work, on a different level, I do offer the individual cube installations, and I've been told very strongly by Spirit that I need to start moving the cube installations to doing the individual installations, but in groups of 3. There's a really important collective aspect to having people 3 at a time receiving their cubes. It's like exponentially anchoring down light on the planet right now. And so starting in, I don't have the date yet, but in February, I'm going to have my first one. So if you would like a gold cube installation, I'm going to start doing that in groups of 3. And I mean, I will still have the one-on-ones available, but I'm mostly going to be trying to focus on doing them in groups of 3 because that is what Spirit is guiding me to do. So I will give you more information on that. And yes, so that is what I have for right now. We also have our membership. It is $11 a month, and it is through the Ko-Fi platform. And it's just a beautiful way to be held in the energy of the station. When you join, you actually are held within the vibration and the frequency of the Interstellar Earth Alliance. And I send out, you receive more like channeled and messages and tools throughout the month as well. So I'll send that out in the follow-up email. And if this is what is good enough for you to just receive these, if this is all you need each month, then I'm so glad that you are here, and just inviting you to share this with those that you think would benefit from that, and also invite them in. So thank you for that.